It's been the wrong one, and I need someone so I pull up and bring some. Oh, I would never rush on.
Once again on Person on the Internet, whining about relationships.
Side note, we're gonna go on a little tangent, personal anecdote time. When I was in a situation with someone that was like 16, 17 years older than me, it was very short-lived, thank God. But I remember he got really weird. I was late to go hang out with him. I was 19 at the time. He got really weird. I was like late. I was coming over. And he called me and was just like, "Yo, where are you?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm just walking to the train right now." He was just like, "Yo," because by the time I was walking to the train, I was already supposed to be there. He was just like, "Didn't we talk about your lateness?" And I was like, "Talk about my lateness? Talk about my lateness?" Like he made it sound like we had this conversation where it was like, "Don't be late." Like also, it's like you're not my dad. Like that's weird. Like we literally talked about how I literally talked about how I'd be late. But it's like I'm coming over. Like it's not like we have like an event. That's beside the point. He's calling me to reprimand me. I immediately was like, I don't like this at all. Never spoke to him again.
I want to point out a few things. This is one of the issues that men have. But the next thing she goes on to say was she was supposed to be somewhere, even if it was hanging out. She was supposed to be there, and she was just walking to the train. So, train rides. If you live in a city that has trains, it's probably not a 15-minute train ride. She's probably got a significant amount of time. And she hasn't even started the journey. She's walking to the train, which there might be a wait for the train. Then there's actual train ride, then walking from the train. She's supposed to be somewhere. He calls her out on it, and she stops talking to him altogether because, again, she pointed out her bad behavior. That's poor character. That's a lack of respect for people's time. We all know there are lots of people who do not show up places on time. That's cool. That's understandable. But he has an expectation of you being there based on your own word. So you're breaking your own word. And then when he calls you on breaking your word, you're bothered to the point where you left him alone because he corrected you. She called it, because he chastised or whatever. Yeah. He has a right to say, hey, you set an expectation for you to be here. You're not here. What's going on? I think that's totally reasonable. And he could have been concerned. It's legitimate. Now, there's also a second part to that. If he was so concerned, he could have been at the train station or whatever, but he would have been waiting and she wouldn't have been at the train station getting off on the train she should have been getting off on. So, that's a whole nother problem. Like, there's breakdowns in communication. She put a hard line, like, you cannot correct my behavior, even though she was wrong. She didn't even consider. I don't know how long it's been since she had that relationship. She hasn't even since then considered that she was wrong, and you can tell by the way she's telling the story.
Are better than you niggas, period.